Hi guys, and welcome back to Used and Reviewed. Today we're taking a look at Music Unlimited for iOS. Now, if you're not familiar with Music Unlimited, this is Sony's answer to the music subscription-based service such as Spotify or Pandora. Now, it is a paid subscription service. There are no ads. The basic package is £3.99 or $3.99 per month, with the premium service at £9.99 and $9.99 per month. And there are a couple of differences, and we will include them in the descriptions below. This is actually the premium service, and we've actually already looked at the PS Vita version of Music Unlimited, and we really enjoyed it. It's a really good experience, and it's a great service. It's also available on Android, and it has been available on Android for a while now, but it's only recently just come out on Apple's devices. So let's take a look at the application and see what you get for your money. So once we load up the application and you've logged in, you're presented with the home screen. Now, there are a number of things on here, and I'll take you through them one by one, starting at the top. The first bar, if you like, is the channels bar. Now, this really is like a music channel selection. So if, for example, you're interested in country and folk music, and some people are, you would click that channel there, and it would start playing music based on that genre in a particular order. Now, because it's a channel, you haven't got any access or customization in terms of what's being played next. Whilst we're on this page, I'll just show the number of icons that actually come up. So you have a like button here. You've got a dislike button, which if you press, it'll actually skip the track, but also make a note that you're not into that particular type of music. The plus button here will allow you to add that particular song or the album to your own library, as well as adding both to your playlist. And then the final button is really giving you more information about that particular artist. There's a biography, and there's also suggestions for artists that are similar to that particular artist. So let's head back to the home screen. So that's the channels bar along the top. That is actually only a small selection of the channels available, and I'll show you how to get access to the rest of them in a moment. Next one down is your playlist. So here you can create a number of playlists, and I've only got one available, but you would scroll through any that you've got here, and obviously from here you can play any tracks that you've got in that playlist, as well as shuffle them. Next one down, just a bit of information about what you've recently added to your library. So I actually added one of the Rihanna albums, so it's just showing you here. Next one down is new releases. So these are tracks that have just come onto the service, or a particular album, and obviously you can select a particular one and then select a track to play, or add any of the tracks to your library and your playlist. The very final bar is for again, suggestions that you might like. Now, this is meant to be obviously suggested based on your listening habits, but I have to admit I'm not quite sure. I mean, you've got Rufus Wainwright, which I'm not quite sure I particularly wanted to listen to, but there you go, it's recommendations. I assume that this will actually get better the more you actually use the service, and the recommendations will be more tailored. Now, going back to the home screen, you'll notice there's an icon in the top right hand corner. Now, this is where you're going to access most of the features for Music Unlimited. At the top, you've got a search bar. So if we were to put in a search for Rihanna, then it will bring up a list of those obviously matching searches against Rihanna. So here's the artist. It tells you there's 22 albums available. You can also select albums, so if you could actually search for a particular album, you'd put the album name in there and search, or a particular song. So again, if there's a song that you want to search for, you'd enter it in here and click songs. So let's head back. So as you can see, we were in the home screen. The next one along is the list of channels. As I mentioned before, with that bar, there are more channels available. And let's go from left to right. So these are premium channels. I'm not quite sure what premium actually means, but it may mean that it's actually tagged to the premium service, and therefore you might not have access to these if you're on a basic package. Now these are things like hot songs, the global top 100, a local top 100, pop top 100, etc. So have a quick look, and again, because it's a channel, it will start playing that particular channel without any control over what tracks are going to appear. So let's head back. Next one along is genres. So if you're after a particular type of music, then you can obviously search through the genres available here, and you've got all the usual dance and house, rap, pop, R&B, Latin, reggae, blues, every type of music that you're probably into. Now, I'm sorry, that's my fat fingers selecting things when it's not meant to. The next tab along is quite an interesting one. Sense Me is a kind of little widget in the application, which is all about the mood that you're actually in. So if you're in an energetic mood, there is a channel here that you would select, and it would pick songs that are meant to be upbeat and very energetic. So it's all about the kind of emotion that you're feeling at the moment. There's mellow tracks, relaxing tracks, morning tracks, daytime, evening, nighttime, etc. The final tab on the channels bar is eras. So again, this is broken down into decades. You've got the 50s, 60s, 70s, right the way up to the 2000s. So again, if you're particularly interested in a certain decade, then you can obviously select a channel through there, and again it will start playing tracks based on that particular decade. So let's head back. The next tab along is actually charts. So these are kind of like what's favourite, what's up there, and what's top of the charts. So if we go to pop, there's a lot of tracks on there that you'll obviously notice as being quite popular at the moment. Again, if you're into that type of music. And you'll notice that alongside each track there is a plus button, and that's for quick access to allow you to add the tracks to your library or to any playlist that you've got. You can then select albums, so again, what are the favourite albums that are being played out there, and then finally, what are the favourite artists. So the fourth tab along is actually your library. So as I mentioned before, you could be searching for tracks, find lots of tracks that you're interested in, and then adding them to your library to build up your own personalised library. And from here, you know, for example, we've got Lana Del Rey. There's a couple of albums in there, and obviously you can build it up and play tracks from a particular artist. If you have a big library, then you're going to probably need to skip through and search. From here you can look at albums, particular songs, and then finally you've got your playlists. And again, I've only got the one playlist, but there you go. In the top right hand corner, the final icon is actually around settings. So you can sign out of your account. You can also set whether you want to keep streaming over 3G. Obviously it depends on your data plans, but you can stream your music over 3G, and you do that from here, or you can turn it off, as well as get rid of any explicit content. And you can also clear any search data that you've got. So guys, that's actually it. But the one thing I want to note or point out before I close this video is that unlike the Android and the PS Vita versions, there is no offline play at the moment in iOS. So if you're not familiar with offline play, what it basically means is if you can set up a playlist like I have here, you can actually select the playlist and tell it to save those particular tracks locally to your device and listen to them when you're out and about and you don't have access to an internet connection. Now, for whatever reason, iOS version of Music Unlimited doesn't have offline music playback at this moment in time and when I did this review. hopefully they're going to be looking at that and bringing it out in the future, because that's one of the key selling points for the premium service. So guys, that wraps up our review. I hope you like it. Please do give us a thumbs up, rate, comment, and also please subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be looking at more videos in the future. Once again guys, thanks for watching. This has been Used and Reviewed.